Good afternoon. My name is Jamie Thompson, and I'm here to introduce our group's proposal to improve campus security. During this presentation, we plan to explain why our solution to hire 2 more security officers is the best solution for Texas Tech. Our goal is to make Texas Tech the safest college campus in the country. We are asking you to approve our proposal to hire 2 additional officers to patrol campus during the shift with the most crime incidents. We will show you the police department team member to student ratio at Texas Tech compared to other universities, how long it would take to implement our solution, how much money it will cost, and why our solution is the best path forward. UT is one of our top competitors, and as you can see by this table, their ratio is far better than ours. With our plan of adding 2 additional patrol officers, it would bring our ratio and align it with UT's. And it would also be the improvement we need to solve our campus security issue. I'm now going to pass it over to Peyton, who is going to talk to you about the time it would take to implement our plan.
Hi, I'm Peyton. I will be talking about how timing is everything. So the hiring process, and interview process, and training, all of that can take up to several months. So it begins with the hiring process where applications are open from a minimum of 30 days up to a max of 90 days. This is dependent upon how many people are applying, if people are applying. Within the application, they will submit a personal history statement, also known as a PHS, and this will allow them to discuss their past work experiences. They have 2 weeks to complete this PHS. The 2-week deadline is a little bit flexible, but they do ask that you submit your PHS with your application so that they are able to look at everything all at one time. After you submit your PHS, they assign a background investigator to every applicant, and the background investigator basically completes background checks, and background checks can take a while depending on how many people are getting them, how many people apply, how many of the background checks there has to be. Also dependent on how thorough the PHS is. If you have a very thorough PHS, then it can be that your background check won't take as long. After background checks are completed, they go through an interview process, which, depending on how many people make it to the interview process, can take a couple weeks, a couple days. Applicants are interviewed by a panel, and if the panel thinks that they would be a good fit, they meet the requirements and all of that, then that applicant is recommended to the chief and the assistant chief. And then if the chief and assistant chief decide to hire them, then the applicant moves on to the training process. The time of the training process can take up to several months. It can take less time if they already have some training and some experience under them. If they have to do the remedial training, then it can take a little bit longer. Officers are not allowed to be put into the field and into rotation until they have fulfilled and met all the training requirements. So with that being said, the process of all that can take up to 6 months or so. It may be a little longer, just depending on the amount of people that are applying and how long it kind of takes to do everything. And then moving on to where the new guards would be implemented. If you look at the table on the slide, you'll see that there are 3 shifts, shift 1, shift 2, and shift 3. Based on the research that has been done, shift 2 had 188 total crimes committed over the 4 months that we looked at, which was September, October, November, and December of 2019. These crimes included drugs and alcohol, robbery, and a category classified as other. While the crimes by day varied, overall shift 2 had the majority of them. So by adding 2 extra officers onto this shift, there would be more officers working to help combat those crimes and help hopefully decrease them. Next, I will be handing it off to Tyler.
Hi, my name is Tyler Gordon, and today I will be discussing the cost analysis and financial budgeting for hiring 2 on-campus police officers. First, the average salary for this position in the state of Texas is $47,121. It is merit and experience-based, so if you have more experience, you are likely to start out at a higher base salary. To benefit a police officer, so any 401k retirement plan, health benefits, paid time off, the employer is likely to pay $11.82 per hour, and the average work year for an average worker is 1,768 hours, so that brings an added cost of $20,897.76. So the annual cost of employment is going to start out at $68,018.76. Other factors that apply to this cost in hiring goes to arrest, so about $500 per arrest, a uniform allowance, a squad car, and any materials that an officer may utilize in their position. So the average budget per year for a single police officer is going to be $132,000, and since we're hiring 2, it would be $264,000. Yes, it is more than the blue light, but the blue light will only call an officer, and in order to have, you would need to supply an officer in order to respond to the blue light. So,
hello, I'm Aaron Pingo, and I'll be covering why we feel this is the best response. More officers on duty would help with a more rapid response. Having more blue lights wouldn't help officers respond faster to crimes, and we feel there's a sufficient amount of blue lights already on campus. Blue lights do not help stop the most common crimes on campus, these being theft, drug usage, and intoxication. Having more officers would help in case of violent crimes in dorms and other buildings, as well as people also feeling safer knowing there is more people looking out for them and actively protecting them. I'll be handing it off to Jamie to end the presentation.
After going through our presentation, you can see why hiring 2 additional officers is the best solution to the security problem. We have shown the proven benefits of our proposed solution and provided a clear path forward to carry it out. We ask that you proceed with our plan with the goal of making Texas Tech University the safest college campus in the country. Thank you for your time and consideration. Breckham.